I have been living in Asuncion, Paraguay for 3 years now, and in this video, I'm gonna go through all the pros and cons and overall just what to expect if you're thinking about coming out to Asuncion, Paraguay, getting the residency, or potentially just moving your base here. Listen up in the video. I'm gonna go through everything that you would need to know about this place. Now, I haven't been here for the full 3 years, guys, but over a year and a half, I've actually been in the city, and it is my main base for 6 to 9 months of the year usually. So first things first, guys, just going through, the vibe and the lifestyle of it all. I've got a full list, by the way, of just everything that I think is important to go through. The lifestyle, guys, is very chill here. There's not heaps to do in Asuncion, Paraguay, but, the weather's really great. It's a very peaceful vibe. There's, more nature. It's a small city. There's not a lot going on. And overall, it's just very, very convenient, which is why I've kind of picked it as my base. I don't want my home or my base to be some crazy active place with, heaps of tourists and crazy shit going on. I prefer it to be a little bit more peaceful, and that's what I like about Asuncion, Paraguay. The locals, guys, some of the best and nicest locals I've ever met. Sometimes you meet locals and they don't give you the best vibes, but I've never had that experience with Paraguayans. They're always happy. They always want to get to know ya, and overall just really, really, good energy people. The main thing is that they are just like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, why is an Australian in Paraguay? It just makes no sense to them. Obviously, with the tax benefits and the residency and all these other things, that's the reason why. But yeah, it's kind of just funny. Now, in terms of the networking, guys, and the whole community, this is probably one of my favorite things about Asuncion, Paraguay. Some of the people that I've met in this place, honestly, like just real true friends of mine now, and a lot of people are on the same page. If people are coming out here to get residency, they're coming because they want to leave their Western country that they're not enjoying anymore, or they want to move their taxes as well. These people are on the exact same page as me. They think like me, and overall, we just have similar goals. Most of these guys are entrepreneurs. They want to make money online. They want to win at life. They want more freedom. And so these things that they value, I value too. So it's very, very easy to make connections here. Now, not saying that you're just going to find it willy-nilly, but obviously put yourself out there, be first, say hi, go to social events, and you won't find it difficult to meet, like-minded guys. Asados are being hosted all the time, which is basically just a barbecue where, everyone throws meat on a barbecue, and it's just a way to socialize and hang out with other people that are living here or coming through. In terms of the authenticity of this place, guys, like, you can't flex here, right? So there's none of this like fake bullshit stuff that you potentially get in other places, especially where tax residencies exist. Obviously, it is somewhat third world here. It is a little bit more poor here. Driving a supercar or walking around with an expensive watch is just a silly fucking move. And so I feel like just the whole authenticity and connection of it all is a little more honest here. It's, it's more so like, do I like this person or not? And it's not really like a value exchange type thing. Although, you are going to meet people that are going to be high quality entrepreneurs, or there's going to be some really strong connections that you will make as well, based off of just everyone's here with either a successful business or, they've got heaps of travel knowledge and things like this. Now, yeah, in terms of the expats that you will meet, guys, it's like, it's guys on the come up making fucking, 2K, 3K a month, or it's guys that are making 50K a month and they're already set up and they're just fucking got their tax residency here, and they choose to base up here. So yeah, anything in between that, I do find that there is more of a younger community here. Like, it does seem to be more guys that are like, are on the come up. There's a lot of high ticket sellers here, like remote sales guys here in Asuncion, Paraguay. And yeah, just really don't have too many bad things to say about the community that I meet. All in all, pretty good. I'll go into one part inside the cons of like what to just watch out for in terms of that. But yeah, overall, honest environment, honest community. In terms of your food, your restaurants, and your quality of life, guys, the restaurants are very solid in my opinion. They're not too expensive. It's pretty cheap here. The steak is unreal. You can go to some of the, you can go to the fanciest restaurants here and it's not going to break the bank. $30, $40, $50 max, and you're at one of the best restaurants in the city, which is just insane. From my country in Australia, some of these places that I go to in Asuncion would probably be more so $150 to $250 for the same thing. So really good there. You're close to nature here, guys. It's pretty walkable in my opinion, because everything's just within like a fucking 2-kilometer radius. So as long as you put yourself in that zone, you're not going to find it too hard to just walk somewhere, get something set up, or organize whatever it is that you want to organize. One thing I'll add as well, guys, is the supermarkets and the gyms here are fucking really good. I've been traveling Latin America for a while now, and one of the hardest things to find was these two things. I don't know why, but finding good supermarkets or really good quality gyms was hard to find. However, in Paraguay, Asuncion, it's very, very solid. And so for a base, it's just perfect that's the case. They also have a convenience store like 7-Eleven, which is called Biggie, runs 24 hours. It's fucking very big. It's got everything like from meat, vegetables, fucking drinks, ice cream, alcohol, like everything you can think of. It's basically a mini supermarket. And yeah, it's just very convenient to have that. They're all about. So, those are really good as well. In terms of the location of Paraguay, guys, some guys like it, some guys don't. Personally, I prefer it. I mean, obviously it's on US time zone, which is very important, especially if you're a guy that is like obviously making money online and has like a job, or into remote sales. It's not heaps of flights going through there, of course, but you've got Brazil and Argentina on your doorstep. Colombia's nearby. Like these places are really solid places to go. And so being like literally right nearby those places is fucking very, very good. Those two places are two of the main ones that I'd like to go to outside of Paraguay. Some of my favorites outside of that, Mexico. And then obviously it's a little bit annoying when I want to go back to Australia. It's fucking far away. But outside of that, I'm pretty happy with the location of it all. Now, guys, in terms of the locals and communicating with them, I speak Spanish, so my experience is a little bit better. It's just one thing I want to be honest about. Like, your experience in Asuncion is going to be shit if you don't learn the language, right? So anything from communicating with the locals or even dating the locals, these types of things. Yeah, my integration inside everything has been a lot easier and just overall better experience based off the fact that I speak Spanish now. So one thing to add, do not come here if you're not willing to learn the language, or you're definitely going to have a worse experience. Now, in terms of the weather, guys, it's very, very good in my opinion. I think the perfect months are from like April to May and September to October if you're looking to just come here like for 2 months or 4 months out of the year. November to February can be quite hot. High 30s, low 40s sometimes, degrees Celsius. Not that big of a deal in my opinion, but some people, especially those from Europe and whatnot, find that a little harder. So pick and choose how you want accordingly there. Winter can actually be a little cold, guys. Mid-year. I personally want to be staying out of Asuncion from like June to August. It's not that cold, honestly, but I don't like the winter. I prefer warm weather. So personally, I will be choosing to be outside of Asuncion during that time. Not to say it's bad, you could still come here, have a great time. It's really not that cold. In terms of your opportunities, guys, so honestly, Paraguay is for two types of guys. It's for the guy that wants to move his taxes and he's already super successful and just wants to get away from the crap, obviously. And the other guy is someone that is on the come up. Like if you're an young entrepreneur out there who wants to win at life, or you want to make money online, you just want to get away from the bullshit and set up, Paraguay is a perfect place to come. There's just so many opportunities in Paraguay in terms of like business, the connections you meet, of course. Obviously, when you move your taxes and you live a cheaper life, it's just a massive compound effect in terms of how much you're able to save and just get the ball rolling with everything that you want to do, and usually there's trade-offs to moving your tax residency or moving your residency and living somewhere. But honestly, for me, there hasn't really been that many trade-offs. Like, I'm happy to live in Asunción, Paraguay. I choose to live there. I don't have to live there for my tax residency. Overall, I just think it's a solid place. Personally, with heaps of potential, heaps of freedom here, guys. There's less rules, less bullshit. In the West, there's just a fucking rule for everything. Obviously, like a lot of control. It's just, it's weight off the shoulders where you don't have to fucking worry about this crap. And yeah, I think it's just a very peaceful, free life, which, you know, I just prefer. Now, last thing about Asuncion, Paraguay in terms of the pros, guys, is the dating. Now, the dating could be good or bad. It depends on what type of guy you are. Overall, I think it's good, but only if you speak Spanish. It's just like, honestly, 1% of girls speak English, so don't come out here if you're not going to learn the language. Overall, the girls are pretty feminine. They're very nice. They're good energy. One thing I'll note is don't rely on the apps. You know, a lot of boys like will just run through the same birds, or, you know, you'll follow a girl from the app and then you'll meet another guy that's already been with her, things like that. So just be watching out for that, because it is a small city. Much better to just meet girls out, whether it's, you know, out and about, at the club, at an event, whatever it is, just do it that way. One thing I have noticed in terms of the dating, in terms of like a con, there is a big cultural difference. Even though I do speak Spanish, you know, my Spanish is not perfect, and culturally there's differences, you know, like I'm an Aussie guy. I like to joke. I like to fuck around. I like to be a little sarcastic. And when you're trying to make a connection with a chick that like doesn't understand these things, or you don't really speak fluent, these types of things, it can make it hard to have like an actual real connection. So if you're a guy out there that's looking for a family, or actually like settling down with a chick, then maybe it's not as good. But if you're a young dude just, you know, chilling and not taking things too seriously, you're not gonna have a problem there. But that's just my opinion with Paraguay specifically. Now, cons, guys. Cons are, as I mentioned many times, you have to learn the language. Now, there's just no way around it. But once you've learned it, you've just covered like 20 countries inside Latin America. You know, it's so good when you learn this language. You open up another side of yourself. And so yes, it is a con. It is a fucking pain in the ass. But once you learn it, like you will not regret it. You'll be so grateful that you did it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You got to learn the language. Some other things, guys, like in terms of living in Paraguay and coming here, like you can't drink the water. Obviously, this is a third world country, so you know you need to buy bottled water. One little inconvenience. And the power went out like once a month, sometimes twice a month. Not too much of an issue. So yeah, just something to consider there. Now, in terms of the community, guys, there are some weirdos that roll through Paraguay. Two types of guys I don't like being around: preppers and extreme conspiracy theorists. Very pessimistic people that I just don't like hanging out with. They always find what's wrong or what's bad, right? There's never really a conversation about positivity or anything like that. I agree with these guys on a lot of things, you know, at least half of what they say. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be around guys that are constantly complaining or bitching about, you know, the West or whatever it is, right? It's like, dude, get your second residency, get your plan B, have it there. Now shut the fuck up. If things go south, you set up and you're all good anyway, you know? So that's just kind of how I look at it. Personally, I think it's best to stay away from those types of guys. They don't really help in any way. Get around good, positive people, people that are growing, people that are building businesses. And that's like 95% of the people that are there anyway. So yeah. Now, obviously, because the residency is cheap and it is good, a lot of people come here. So you're obviously going to get a bad portion of people coming as well, running away from shit or whatever it is. The next con, guys, is boredom. I did mention this before, but yes, it can get boring sometimes. I find myself wanting to kind of get out for a bit every 3 to 6 months, and that's kind of what I do. So, you know, one time I just went to Rio for a week and left my apartment as it was, continued to pay for it, and then just came back and my setup was there, of course. This time around, I'll be leaving Asuncion for 3 months. So I just went and got storage unit, which cost me $65 a month, moved my shit in there. When I come back, I'll just set up accordingly. But yeah, guys, in terms of this whole Asuncion's boring thing, like Asuncion, Paraguay is my home. I don't care that it's boring. I want to just be in my routine. I want to get work done, and I have a great network. And at the end of the day, guys, if you find the correct network and you've got good friends, it doesn't really matter where the fuck you are. You know, we're still doing activities together like go-karts, playing poker, obviously going to dinner, hosting asados. Like there's always shit to do no matter where you are. But obviously in terms of the comparison between, you know, Buenos Aires or Sao Paulo or, you know, the Medellin, maybe these other places are a little bit more exciting. So yeah, weigh up what that means to you. It just really depends on what type of person you are. Next thing, guys, in terms of medical care, I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about this, but I've had some experience. Now, in terms of the service, it's fucking awesome. Like, I had a doctor just message me on WhatsApp. He was helping me out for like literally for no cost. He was just like went out of his way to just like help me, you know, book appointments and answer any questions that I had. You know, I had him privately, but this is obviously a third world country, so sometimes they don't have the advanced machines that you might need if it's, you know, for a complicated problem. However, you know, Brazil's on your doorstep, and I believe they have, you know, the facilities and all the crap that you would need there anyway on a short flight. So just keep that in mind. Something that I don't know a whole lot about, but I just wanted to mention that part. Overall, guys, who is Paraguay Asuncion for and who it's not for? So personally, I just think it's for boys on the come up. They want to build online income. They want freedom. They want to get away from the fucking wokey liberal crap going on in the West, and they just want to focus on a routine and build. That's just the type of person I think it's for. It's not for tourists. It's not for digital nomads that constantly want to be on the move, and it's definitely not for people who don't want to learn the language. So yeah, that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to go through. I love Asuncion, Paraguay, guys. I literally have stayed here the whole time. As soon as me and my brother got here, like within a few days, I knew that it was going to be my base, and I chose so accordingly. Obviously, I've got permanent residency now. I've set up my taxes here, and yeah, super grateful for the country. And yeah, I've integrated nicely, and I don't really have any plans on leaving or choosing a different base. I'm very happy with how I've got things set up at the moment. So yeah, that covers everything I want to talk about, guys, in terms of my review and honest take on Asuncion and kind of what to expect. Any questions, or if there's anything you think I might have missed here, feel free to just comment down below and I'll get back to you there. If you know you're interested in getting Paraguay residency, feel free to book a free consultation call down below. You can do that in the YouTube description. Other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next. Peace.